come from a small village called Bethany. It is about 2 miles from the great city of Jerusalem. My name is Martha. I have a sister named Mary, and we live with our brother Lazarus. You might have heard of me. People take me as a busybody. When you're the woman of the house, there's much to do. I'm sure the women around here with me agree with me. To make a house a home, there's much to do. There's washing, there's cleaning, there's scrubbing, and cooking. Yes, cooking, which takes a lot of time, especially when you have guests. Let us go to the garden. It is nice to talk there. I must say, from time to time, we have a special guest. When I say this, I don't mean the governor or a Jewish leader. No, we have Jesus, the man from Nazareth. He's a friend of my brother, Mary and I. He seemed to enjoy coming over to our place to have a meal. Of course, when I knew he was coming, I would make him feel welcome. When he came, I was trying to prepare the dishes that he liked. Of course, he was not fussy, not at all. But I was trying to prepare special things for him. One day, something happened. I remember it well. As you know, in life, there are some things that you don't forget easily. On this day, Jesus came as usual. When I heard him, I started thinking what I would do. So I welcomed him to our house, and after greeting him, I started getting busy preparing for what was required for the meal. On that day, I must have looked especially tired. I wanted to make things especially for him, looking at this, checking that, and thinking of small things. And all that time, do you know where my sister Mary was? Sitting, yes, sitting near Jesus' feet, doing nothing. At least that's what it seemed to me. It seemed to me she had no idea that if Jesus was to eat, dishes had to be prepared, food had to be cooked, table had to be set, and all this time she just sat looking at Jesus, not even looking at me to see if I needed any help. I couldn't stand it any longer, so I called on to Jesus and I asked him, Lord, do you not care that my sister is leaving me to do all the serving by myself? Please tell her to help me. He looked at me and he replied,
Martha, Martha, you worry and fret about many things, and yet a few are needed. Indeed, only one. It is Mary who has taken the better part, and it will not be taken away from her.
I did not like that answer at first. I thought Jesus was trying to side with my sister. I thought to myself, of course, I must worry. If no one else takes care of the meal, what would Jesus eat? I kept thinking of his words, and somehow I understood something. I understood that while I was busy preparing food for him, he was waiting to give me a different kind of food. He wanted me to sit and listen to his words, the words which are the food of our hearts. Now I understand. On another day, Jesus said something else, which was not easy for me to understand. It was after the death of our brother. When Lazarus got very sick, Mary and I sent word to Jesus, explaining to him of the condition of our brother. We knew it was a serious illness and that Jesus could do something about it. We waited, but Jesus didn't turn up. He waited, and after 2 days, he came to our house. I could not understand that Jesus, who had so much power over illness, could let his friend die without doing anything. When finally he arrived, our brother had been in the tomb for 4 days already. When I was told that Jesus had come, I went to meet him. I could not help telling him, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. I added, but I know that even now, whatever you ask of God, He will grant you. Jesus said to me,
"Your brother will rise again."
I knew that. So I replied, I know he will rise again at the resurrection on the last day. But Jesus had something else in his mind. Looking at me, he replied,
"I am the resurrection and the life. If anyone believes in me, even though he dies, will live. And anyone who lives and believes in me will not die." Do you believe this?
I said I believed. I believed he was the Christ, the one sent by God into the world. Then I went to call my sister Mary, and she too said to Jesus that if he had been there, our brother Lazarus would still be alive. When he saw her crying, Jesus became very moved. He followed her to the tomb of our brother, and there he wept, real tears. You know the rest. Jesus asked the stone closing the tomb to be removed. I quickly said, Lord, he will smell. It's already the 4th day. And he replied,
Have I not told you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?
He prayed to his Father in heaven, and he called out loudly for my brother to come out. Lazarus came out alive. My brother was alive. I could not believe my eyes, but I was so happy to have believed in Jesus. I could not understand when he had said that he was the resurrection and the life, but now I know what he meant. If you are mourning a death of a loved one, call Jesus to be with you and listen to the words he will tell you.